What's a man to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer who don't believe in anything? Will he make it out alive? Alright, alright. Wow.
When people tell you they can't do it, the reason why they can tell you you can't do it because we're trying to negotiate in the back rooms.
Right.
When the movement was on the streets, you know, they say this thing, out of the streets and into the suites. But when you into the suites and you got nothing on the streets, you can't, your hands are tied in the negotiation. You have to be able to say, either you're going to deal with us or you're going to deal with the people outside.
Right.
But you have to have those people outside.
That's right, yeah.
So we need to consider that. Now in the labor room, because I'm part of my background is labor room. I'm looking it up now. There was activists who created this project called Corporate Campaign. What they did was they researched the opposition and learned how to put pressure on the opposition. They learned who all the board members were, they learned who all the decision makers were, and they targeted them for letters and asked them to put pressure on them. Then you can do information pickers. So you got to find out all the weak spots. What I would suggest to Rage is that you set aside a task force that looks at, because we're supposed to be a pressure group as well as a community group. We need to learn how to put pressure on points that need pressure in order to get the results that we need.
I like that.
All right?
Just like that, we're back.
There we are.
I'm Antoine Butler, co-founder of Rage.
And I'm Damon Drummer, also a co-founder with Rage, and this is Real Talk with Rage. We've changed the name of the segment. It's Real Talk with Rage. I see that we have a caller on the line. Caller, you're live on the Englewood Call.
Yes, I'm definitely down for Real Talk. Part of I like the last segment or the last bit of video that you showed because, okay, we want to register people, which of course is a good thing because that at least gives us more power in the political process. But what is the platform? Are we going to include term limits? Are we going to hold these people accountable? It seems like in the black and the Hispanic communities that the public people, the public officials, are only concerned about their own personal profit. We have to have some type of scorecard that we want to hold them accountable to, and we want that scorecard to have measurable action dates to it. So how are we formulating the plan of attack? I'd like to listen to what you're saying, or just hang up and listen to your reply. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Term limits is an interesting concept, but I live in a country called America, and the term limit is the election. The idea that laws are needed to help citizens keep their elected officials accountable is interesting. Real talk. There's nothing stopping voters from voting a lot of these incumbents out of office if that is what you want to do. That's just my own personal opinion.
My opinion is it's time to stand up. I'm tired. There's no more excuses. I'm not real TV. It's time to stand up. Look at your community. When an elected official can come to your community and his way to the community is a pastor who has a church that does not serve anybody in the community. I don't care what he says. I don't care what he thinks. He cannot speak for me. I've been in Englewood 40 years. I'm not going anywhere. I own property. I'm not going anywhere. I speak for a lot of people, I think. I went to Bass Elementary. Still there. I will go back if they'll have me. But it's time that we stand up. We have to stop letting people speak for us. If you're from Englewood, if you live in Englewood, get off your butt and do something. It's that simple. We can sit and talk about education all day. What does that mean? What's going to happen at the end of the day? Like the guy calls us every week, says he has the hard questions. The hard question is, what are you going to do?
That's right.
That's the hard question.
That's right. We have a caller. Caller, you are live with Real Talk with Rage.
Praise God and good evening, brothers.
How you doing, brother?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Amen. My question, or my commentary, since we, at the time I was listening to the ladies, and they were talking about advisory park, and mine is geared toward the youth. And we're at an unprecedented time where we have stars in Hollywood. We have a starting basketball court, Derrick Rose, and Jennifer Hudson, that Woodline, and the surrounding areas, Englewood. And what's being done, or how can we utilize their star power and influence to bring resources back to the community for the youth, building, to have some youth development in the park areas and things of this nature, brother. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. I think the resources have to. Piggybacking on what Dap was saying about what are you going to do about it, the resources have to come from the community. This idea that we have these, be it a star that came from the community or a foundation, right? Or frankly, even a politician. But politicians can't bring money to the community. Businesses do that. Right.
Yeah, you can't get a business in Englewood unless you have a 501c3.
That's it. That's the growth industry in Englewood. 60636, 60621. What is it? 200 nonprofits.
Over 200 nonprofits.
Right. That's the growth industry, and they're growing every day. Growing like, what does the song say? Like mildew. Right.
Wow. Over 250 churches, and this is the most violent community in the city. Something's wrong.
And 29% unemployment. There's a correlation. There's got to be a correlation. And again, we're turning to the idea that these politicians, right, are supposed to bring money back to the neighborhood. Money comes from the community when people in the neighborhood, right, stop, waiting for a foundation to pay you to watch your blog.
Wow. The whole concept with people... With the what is the program with the people watching the kids go to school?
Safe passage.
Safe passage. That's nonsense. It should be a safe passage regardless. You don't have to get paid to make sure your kids are safe. What is wrong with us? The help is here. We don't need help. We're looking for a savior, and we are the saviors.
That's it.
I don't need help. Help me. Help myself.
That's it. This is Real Talk with Rage. We have a caller. Caller, you are on live on the air with the Englewood Call. Real Talk with Rage. Caller, what is your name?
You talk me up. I have a lot of time been a one-man army. Part of the problem is, yes, we do need to have people to come together. We don't necessarily we shouldn't necessarily rely on one person. You're right. We should not have no safe passage because they can always have money for foolishness around. Why they cannot use that money in the school to help hire some of our teens to do things, where they can learn different types of skills, and they can put some money in their pocket instead of have to spend that money and them be in front of some judge and lock them up, where people making money off of other people's misery.
Welcome to America. It's time for action. This is how it works. If you brother, you're not a young guy. You sound like you're around my age. You know how it works. It's time to stand up. You have to do something. Enough is enough.
And Real Talk is not just about talk, right? If you see what we see, we invite you to come out to the Rage Open House on Monday, January 27th at the West Englewood Library. It's at 6 o'clock. The address is 1745 West 63rd Street at 6 p.m. Monday, that's next Monday. This coming Monday, January 27th. This is moving from real talk to real action. See, people don't understand Rage, right? There's these rumors, right? Rage is not a 501c3 organization. This idea that Rage is being funded by a foundation is bunk, right? These are people who live in a community, right? And have decided to do something about all of this that we see.
There is no white people funding us. I'm tired of hearing that there is some secret group of white people funding the Resident Association of Greater Englewood. There's no such person. It's a lie. This is funded by us. I'm angry because I find it quite difficult that people question me as a neighbor, but yet there are numerous 501c3s coming into the community with all kind of nonsense programs, and they're not doing anything. If they were to fix the problem, they would not have a job.
That's it.
Where are you people from? Enough is enough. I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
You know, in this case, you know, I'm a member of Rage, right? But I also work at a nonprofit in the neighborhood, right? And this is coming from, you know, somebody who works at a nonprofit, right? There are entirely too many, right? And we've got to stop seeing, right, an organization of residents that is accountable to residents as a threat, right? Because it totally disrupts the model of what it means to invest in a community through a charity or through a foundation. This idea that you need to hire some college student to come in and teach people how to talk to each other
Say word.
is completely being debunked by the Resident Association of Greater Englewood, which, by the way, is not to condemn all nonprofits, right, in the city of Chicago or even in the neighborhood. Or even talk bad about all the pastors in the neighborhood. No, there are many and several that are doing great work, right? But the fact that this is just a reality.
There are many that aren't, though.
There are many that aren't.
There are many that are in the pocket of the city. And you cannot speak for me. You can't. I don't. Your church is located in 60621 or 60636. That's it.
But the dollars leave.
As soon as church is over, everybody's gone. The doors are locked. You don't open back up till Sunday morning again. This is Real Talk with Rage.
And again, we have an open house on Monday, January 27th at 6 o'clock p.m. at the West Englewood Library. 29% unemployment rate. There's no grant that can do anything about a 29% unemployment rate.
No comment.
You know, few retail opportunities, right? There is not a grant that will bring businesses to our community. We've got to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Few black-owned businesses. There is not a grant out there that will create a black-owned business. I don't care what the state of Illinois is doing. They have this grant. If you're, trying to start a black, you seen that grant?
Yeah.
There was a grant going around. It's election time. Right? So there's this state fund to help nonprofits and black-owned businesses. It doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense whatsoever.
I wish we had a caller. I feel like talking to somebody. This is the Resident Association of Greater Englewood. The number you can call us at is 312-738-1060. My name is Antoine Butler.
And I'm Damon Drummer. You can call us again at 312-738-1060. This is Real Talk. Real Talk where I just got called out. I was trying to sugarcoat, right? But this is Real Talk. And we're not playing, right? Again, 29% unemployment rate. We're focusing on skills, right? We're focusing on bringing people together. There are a number of opportunities that come together when residents know that there's a carpenter who lives across the street, right? That I got a plumber down the block, right? That's what Rage is all about, coming together. Rage at its best is a network. And we're not just about talk, we're about getting things done. We have an open house coming up on Monday, January 27th at the West Englewood Library at 6 o'clock p.m. Again, we move from real talk to real action and get this done. And
we also have the Englewood Votes meeting is tomorrow, Friday, at Growing Homes, which is at 5814 South Wood, and it's at 1:30. If you're tired of your elected officials treating you like garbage, let's get them out of office and get somebody in who will have your best interests at heart. We have one more caller. Let's take this caller before we're off the air. Caller, how you doing?
Hello, how you doing?
All right, brother.
All right. My name is Johnny Tate.
Uncle Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
What say you? What's on your mind?
Well, looking at you all, my blessings is to you all. I'm very proud of Rage doing what he's doing and reaching out to the community, man. I'm behind a young man who's very knowledgeable of the problems in Englewood. And how do you reach out to a young person who don't want to be ministered to or don't want that kind of help of trying to guide them in that way of a job or just getting to know a spirit of Jesus?
Wow, that's a good question. Damon, that's Uncle Johnny. I don't have any answer to this.
I don't have an answer either, but I will say just keep doing what you're doing. I have a mentee, right? And, I don't, they say, we got to start mentorship programs. No, we have a mentor right here on the line. There's no grant. Who's paying you to do that, sir? Nobody's paying you to do that, right? He's doing what he needs to do for his community, right? And it's not easy. It's not easy, right? Anybody who works with young people can tell you that. It's not easy because we live in a society that's constructed for them to give up, for them to lose hope, right? So we've got to set that example and keep doing what you do. As long as you're steady and consistent, you're saying, we have another caller. You're live on the Englewood Call, Real Talk with Rage. Good evening. Good evening. You're live with Real Talk with Rage. We must have lost our caller. All right. But again, you know, we have to keep doing what we do. Again, we have a open house coming up on Monday, the 27th of January at 6 o'clock p.m. at the West Englewood Library. Again, we moved together to get things done. I think we also have a
Englewood Votes meeting Friday, January the 24th at Growing Homes. That's at 5814 South Wood at 1:30. Again, if you're tired of the elected officials treating you like the way that they do, and they don't have our best interests at hand right now. So it's up to us to take this and run with it and show them who really has the power.
And let me say this, you know, I'm really tired of hearing people say, you know, I don't vote, you know, the game's rigged. You know what? It can be rigged, right? But if you're not playing in the game, you're getting played. Right, and so this idea that, you know, we vote, you know, people say Englewood doesn't vote. No, Englewood votes, right? We're like probably 1 percentage point behind the city average for voting. That's not, you know, a significantly different, you know, someone would say statistically significant difference, all right, on voting, right? But we've got to outvote, right, the rest of the city. We've got to outvote the county. We've got to outvote the other parts of the ward so people can start paying attention to us again, right? That's what it's about. You know, somebody said that, you know, the Englewood vote doesn't matter. Governor Quinn would not be in office if Englewood did not vote for Governor Quinn in 2010, right? And that rhymes. We're going to adopt that, right? If Englewood did not vote for Governor Quinn in 2010, he would not be governor right now, right? So that's Real Talk with Rage.
We have one more caller. Welcome to the Resident Association of Greater Englewood.
How you doing, brother? I got one thing I want to throw out there, man. That's some information I just heard. There, between Racine and Morgan, which is a 5-block area, 5-block radius, there is 4 liquor stores. Now, if we want to boycott these liquor stores, what I just found out is that we probably have a major problem because the Chicago Police Department actually owns the ATMs in all of the liquor stores.
Wow.
Now, if you want to stand up and do something, how can you fight the police?
First of all, as far as the liquor stores on 63rd, it's going to be a battle fighting them anyway because they donate to the alderman campaign consistently. She gives them the green light on all of the nonsense that's going on 63rd between Racine and Morgan. All of the stolen phones, all of the cellular phone places that the shorties are out here snatching phones and running right in there to Akbar.
That's it.
And selling him the phone. And Akbar turns around and tries to sell it to me.
And we watch it happen. And we let it happen.
I'm tired.
And we let it happen, you know. And I'll be frank, you know, Rage doesn't do a lot of boycotting, right?
I'm thinking about boycotting.
The conversations at Rage, you know, we could boycott, right? But the conversations at Rage that I'm hearing, that is, you know, how do we open up something, right? Put them out of business.
We need a 501c3.
Well, you know, there you go, right?
Contact Rage at 866-845
1032. That's 866-845-1032. You can email us at joinrage@gmail.com. You can also visit us online at rageenglewood.org. We're on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter at join_rage. Join_rage on Twitter. And I had fun. I appreciate this. I wouldn't have never thought I got on camera, but
there it is.
This is the Resident Association of Greater Englewood. The Englewood Call. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Real Talk.